Yeah. Eat some drinks. Hi, Salty.
Hey.
How are you?
Good.
I don't know what this move is, but I'm doing it.
Yeah.
We're making vegan tofu. Well, vegan Kung Pao chicken. Emma's recipe. My lovely girlfriend has kind of built this recipe over a number of years of cooking Chinese food. There's a report today as well that said how much we're fucking up the planet with beef and livestock farming. Australia, not so much apparently. It's, America, big industrial farms, but the general consensus is we should eat less meat. I'm not going to try and tell you to stop eating meat. I'm not vegan.
Good.
People get so upset by tofu and vegan recipes as well. Oh, try to bloody do stuff. It's fine. This is delicious. This big chunk that I just cut in half of dried firm. So you want to get dried firm tofu. We'll put the ingredients list underneath as usual. It's like $4 for a big chunk of dry tofu, and this will last us, the two of us, 2 meals. That's way better than meat, like price-wise. Also, it's healthy to eat less meat. You're supposed to eat like 2 serves of red meat a week. Keep a diverse diet. So it's win, really. So turn your oven on. What am I at, 200? Got some water boiling over there for rice. We'll talk about that in a sec. We'll start with the tofu though. Instead of cutting it, you kind of want to rip it up because as you do, you're going to get all these delicious little nuggets. So Kung Pao chicken is traditionally chicken, obviously. So think of these little babies as little delicious little bits of chicken, and all these. You could probably drain this of all the water in there, and it will go crispier. I don't think it really matters too much. You get a little crispy bits, you get some chewy bits, but rip this baby up. I can hear some water boiling behind me. So let's put some rice on now that we've ripped this up. People stress out about rice. When you're cooking rice, people are like, they get so worried whether it's cooked or undercooked. There's too much water, not enough water. Basically, you want twice the amount of rice and water. And then, I'm using brown rice, by the way, because that's what we use. I think it's nicer and more textural, but you can use white rice. Brown rice just takes longer. Yeah, you're trying to just make all that rice soak up all that water. It's that easy. Bring it to the boil, stick a lid on it, turn it down to simmer, and we're just going to forget about it. Brown rice, 30 to 40 minutes. White rice, 10 to 12 minutes. I think I've said this in the past. I don't know how hot your gas is going to be, how efficient your pot is. So just keep an eye on it. Don't freak out as well if you open it up and it's not done and there's still water in there and start stirring it up. People always do that. They want to stir it up. You're just going to stuff it up and break it. So just wait till it soaks up all the water and you're done. It's my bloody rice take. Rice is so easy. We've got our rice on. We've got our bloody little chickeny nuggets, tofu nuggets, all looking delicious. We're going to hit them with some cornflour first. Maybe 1.5 tablespoons of cornflour. I can't find my measuring spoon, so that's roughly 1. Get them all nice and coaty. Kecap Manis sweet soy sauce. I think it's Filipino. I don't think it's very healthy. It's just soy sauce and sugar, I think. Delicious though. Really yummy. Buy a bottle, keep it in your cupboard. So we're just going to go, and this isn't a traditional Kung Pao ingredient at all. Because we are using tofu rather than chicken, we kind of want to sweeten it a little bit. So we're just going to kind of coat it all. So look at it, we're all coated. Smells yummy, looks yummy. And we're just going to bung this in the oven for maybe 20 to 30 minutes. Again, depending how hot your oven is, I've got mine at about 200. Doesn't matter if they're all the same size round about. The smaller ones will get crunchy and the bigger ones will stay juicy. Traditionally, you would cook the chicken in the wok with everything, with all the soy sauce and everything. I think roasting tofu or baking tofu gets it crispier, gives it a bit more flavour. But while you're doing it, we want to get 10 dried chilies. I think it's about 10, right? I think there's 2 brands of dried chili in here. They probably do different sorts of dried chili. I don't know heaps about dried chili. Put your pan onto medium heat, bung in some oil, like a tablespoon of oil, and we want to start infusing the oil with the chili. Sounds good, doesn't it? 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, just regular soy sauce. Sometimes called light soy sauce. 1 tablespoon of dark soy sauce. So dark soy sauce, we've got 3 types of soy sauce in this. Dark soy sauce is just kind of a bit thicker than light soy sauce. It's probably darker as well. I don't know. What do you reckon? Do you reckon it looks darker? Black vinegar. I'm naively assuming that people are cooking recipes chronologically from this. They're like, great, I've cooked the first recipe where I used black vinegar, and he's still bringing it up now, and I'm still using it. But yeah, black vinegar. If you bought it, here's another use for it. We'll go 2 of these babies. Whoa. And that's going to be our delicious kind of saucy part. We're going to infuse these until they're kind of sizzling. You'll hear them kind of popping and sizzling. You know, if you do it for a medium heat for a while, you know, the longer you do it, as long as you're not burning them, you're probably going to be left off with some delicious oil. Maybe 5-10 minutes. Bit of patience. Think about things while you stand out here. Ponder life. Talk to a loved one. Send a text message. Send that text message you've been wanting to send all day. Clean something. I'm going to do that after. You don't want to see me clean. You want to hear me talking shit. Oh, I forgot an ingredient, Salty. Ginger.
It's a pungent ginger.
Yeah, fresh ginger. You want to you can see it in shops when it's looking really good and the skin's kind of glistening and not looking tired. There's also ginger, sometimes you'll see it has a blue ring in there. If you ever cut the ginger open, it has that. Don't freak out, it's not mold. It's just kind of a natural reaction. And I remember I looked it up once and people were like, yeah, that's the good ginger. I've got one of these babies. You can just slice your ginger, but it's like a little terracotta thing that really smushes the ginger down. If you don't want to grate it, just cut it finely. It's cool. I normally do this and then just kind of run my knife through to get any stringy bits. By the time you can smell the chili kind of firing out, they're pretty much done, ready to go. So we're going to take the chilies out and throw them back in later. You can kind of see how they've darkened and blistered. Turn the heat up high, ram your bloody ginger in there. So we've had the chicken in there for about 10 minutes. It started to kind of crispen up a little bit. You can see the colour's taking on a new colour. What we're going to do now, we don't want to crispen it completely. You can crispen it completely in here for 20 minutes and it's going to come out like a crunchy chicken nugget. But we are going to ram it into our delicious chiliified, gingerified hot oil. You can see it's going nice and dark, nice and lovely. Taking on all that ginger, all that chili flavour. While that's doing its thing, big chunk of peanuts, unsalted but roasted. I really want to have one of those. If I ever owned a house, I'd get one of those big, gas wok thingos. Your home wok gas thingo is probably not going to get super, super awesome stir-fry temperatures, but you can make do. Shaoxing cooking wine. As I said, ingredients going to be in the bottom. You can just get this at the supermarket. Chinese cooking wine. I think it's rice-based. Good for doing Chinese-style dishes, just to deglaze the pan. So a bit of splash of this to get everything off the base of the pan. And at this point, we want to get some brown sugar. Maybe about a tablespoon of brown sugar. Stir it in so the sugar's all well mixed in. Everything's coated and mixed in with everything else, looking bloody tasty. If someone gave you that and said that's tofu, you'd be like, come on.
Chicken, mate.
Looks like chicken. It's way too delicious to be tofu. What am I, helping the environment here? Ugh. Mixing your sauce. Oh, yum. You can see it's kind of bubbling and thickening now. Because we coated the the tofu and cornstarch, that's going to help everything thicken. So this rice isn't done yet, but you can see it's starting to soak up the water. Looking more like rice. Don't touch it, don't stir it, don't stress. People have been cooking rice for bloody millennia. You don't need to stress out about it. You can do this.
So did you say twice as much rice as water?
No, twice as much water to rice.
I think you said the other way around earlier.
I wouldn't say that.
Pretty sure.
I wouldn't say that. You can,
I'm pretty sure
you can check the tape. Twice the amount of rice and water.
Twice the amount of rice and water. Twice the amount of rice and water.
Alright, look at this delicious, bloody fluffy rice. All that really took, water, heat and time. Water, heat and time, Salty.
New catchphrase.
Water, heat and time, your catchphrase. Shit.
Make this Water heat and time,
right?
the more the merrier.
The more the merrier. Obviously, you'd want to make like stir fry some green stuff, or steam some, bok choy or whatever. You have to give it some greens. I'm not going to do that today, but you could if you want. Another thing that I use on a lot of things, or we use a lot of things in this household, fried garlic and fried shallots. You can just buy these at a supermarket and just keep them in the fridge. I'm sure they have a shelf life, but I don't know. They seem to last forever for me. And you get a nice little crunchy finishing thing. How good does that look? It's bloody tofu. That is like, it's cheaper than chicken. It's easier, less risk, and it's going to taste just as good. Make this. Oh, I should eat it, and do that. That's what I do. I was like, oh, make this. I put the chilies back in there. If it's not spicy enough for you, just eat a dried chili and that'll blow apart your taste buds. I think I used too much soy sauce. It's really yummy though. Make this. Eat some drinks. This is our other catchphrase, me doing this.
Yeah.
Do some social salty.